Hey guys, so I'm really bad at journaling, as that is one thing that my therapist told me that I should do, and I'm really bad at it, even though I'm a songwriter. Um, I just don't like it. Like, it's not for everyone. So, I'm gonna start using this as my journal. And if people see it, they see it. If they don't, they don't. But this is for my future self to see. And yeah, so and I just remembered, duh, I just turned 27. My birthday was a couple days ago. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make these and I'm not going to watch them after. I'm going to post them on YouTube and then I'll come back to it my next birthday and see how far I've come. So, Nina, this is for you and for anyone else watching if this is helpful. But I just went to, so let's start the story. Come on. So I went to New York City for the first time ever, and it was, I can full heartedly say, the best trip I've ever been on. I've been to LA, I've been to Florida, I've lived in Germany. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Germany. That was amazing, and I would go back. I've been to the Bahamas, like all this kind of stuff. But to actually be fulfilled with who I align with, how I align, New York City was the best trip I've ever been on. So, being a musician, this trip like really gave me a kick in the butt to like try to start figuring out who I am as a musician, as a creative. So this is why I'm here. This is why we're here. So first crazy thing, I can't remember which thing happened first. Probably singing on the subway. So get off the subway. Yes, that happened first. So getting on the subway, and there was a guy playing bass. He's in the subway station and he's singing like old R&B, like Michael Jackson, like all these different kinds of songs. And so we go and tip him and we're dancing, we're singing with him, blah blah blah. And me and my friend were harmonizing with him and he's like, "Okay, yeah." And so my best friend, she was like, "Go ask him if you can sing a song." And we're like, "No, no, no, no. Like, he's earning his money. Like, he's doing his thing. Like, we're not." And she's like, "Go, go, go." And so I'm like, "Oh, God." Like, I've never sang in front of any of these people in New York. Like, I'm new here. Like, okay. Like, I look crazy. Like, I literally look like this. I was wearing a hoodie and my glasses and sweatpants. And so I go up there and I'm like, "Hey, is it okay if I sing a song with you?" He's like, "Yeah, come on." Just for him to have that grace, I could have sounded like dog poop. I could have sounded crazy. But he like let me do it anyway. And so sing I Want You Back by Michael Jackson, like that's such a like inherently great song. Like everyone knows it. It's a fun time. You're not worried about like anything. Like you're just having a good time. That's what one of that start over. That's what that song is. Remember, I'm not editing this. I'm just going to post it to YouTube. So if you hear me stutter, it's fine. So that was so much fun. That literally was like, I felt like a child, like feeding your inner child. She was like, it was amazing. So I was so happy. Like after that, I don't think I felt that happy, like within myself in a long time. So the next day, I was like, dang. And I kept saying to my friend, I was like, "Do you realize we just sang in the New York City subway station? Do you realize that?" And we were both just sitting there, like, and we were walking around New York and we're like, dang. And of course, like, the cliche when you're in New York City is like, the city of lights and so many opportunities. And, like, like, because Broadway's there, like, all this kind of stuff. And so the next day, this was crazy too. So we went to go eat in Little Italy, and the food, chef's kiss. And I indulged. Also, I'm violently lactose intolerant. So I ate everything, including the dairy, and which included cheese, multiple cheeses, ice cream, tiramisu, like all this stuff. Oh, it was so good. But so we're leaving Little Italy and we're walking to the subway. And when I tell you that was immediate, it was immediate. I ran into a bodega And I was like, please have mercy on me. I need to use the bathroom, please. It's an emergency. And he was like, I'm sorry. The bathroom's closed after 6 for public. And I was like, okay, well, where can I go? Like, now. And he was like, there's a karaoke bar across the street. So I left my wife, I left my friends behind. I started running. I went into the karaoke bar and I'm like, please let no one be in this bathroom. And so I go, and it's this tiny hole in the wall karaoke bar. And I run in the bathroom, and mind you, this one stall bathroom is right next to the stage. So I'm like, excuse me, I'm so sorry. And I go in the bathroom. I apologize to everyone that was in there. I did courtesy flush though. I did. So hopefully it was okay. And then I get out the bathroom. I'm like, oh my God. Whew. And so we look at each other and we're like, we're in a karaoke bar, so we're singing karaoke. And every time, I don't care if it's 5 people, I don't care if it's 100 people. If I'm at a new venue, I'm nervous. I'm shaking in my boots. And so I was like, you know what? We're here. We're in New York City. And so I'm like, I'm gonna do it. Okay. So we sing karaoke, and when I tell you, I had just sang in the subway station the day before. And now we're in this karaoke bar in front of, it was like 6 people. But to see like fresh reactions of people hearing my singing and them being like fully attentive, like them like clapping and singing with me and like just appreciating. And then like this guy wanted to buy me a drink after because he said I did a good job, and like people were like doing this and like high-fiving me, and this lady gave me a hug, and she was like, oh my God, you were so good, you were so amazing, where are you from? And like I've been in such a plateau, and this is where we're gonna get serious. I've been in such what I feel like is a plateau, living in the same area and performing at all these different places. And over time, you start performing in front of all the same people because we're all within this same community. And I make predominantly R&B music. So when I was in New York and people see me and they have this like preconceived notion that, oh, she's going to sing like pop, or she's going to sing rock or something like that. And then I come out and I have this sultry R&B voice. People are like confused, and they're like, okay, like go ahead, like all right. So, but even right now, I feel like I'm on this plateau, being in the same area. And I've always tried to understand, like, why do people need to go to New York? Why do they need to go to LA? Why do they need to go to different places? And I'm starting to understand that, but I also understand that I have a home. I have a job. I have all the things that I have responsibilities that I have to take care of here at home. And I can't just pick up and leave. I mean, I could if I wanted to, but like, I wish there was an easier way to become, and it's not necessarily that I want to be famous, right? Well, I mean, I guess technically, I'm not gonna lie to myself. Having people know your name and having people singing your songs back to you and selling out tickets and stuff like that, I do want that. I want that side of it. I want people to hear my music and relate to it and find purpose and meaning in my lyrics and all that kind of stuff. So technically, yes, in that aspect, I would like the fame. And of course, everyone likes money. Do I really care about that part? No. I would like to be well off and pay my bills and live a manageable life, like, but just going to New York really gave me a kick in the butt to try to start figuring out who I am as a creative. And I just watched a documentary on Doechii, right? And I've been inspired by Kehlani for the longest, still am, but discovering more artists that you feel like you relate to, or is in the same trajectory or the goals that you want to have. Like watching that documentary on Doechii, and so she actually read this book, and I'm thinking about ordering it, but it's called The Artist's Way, and it's basically a spiritual oh my gosh, a spiritual, my mind is running, a spiritual guide on how to recover and unblock your creative purpose, and how to like break through the glass ceiling of where you're stuck as a creative and finding what your identity is. And so Doechii did it, and I'm going to continue to watch her videos because it's a 12-week course, and so she documented once a week her doing the course and reading the book and doing the exercises. So I think I'm going to order the book and see where that takes me. And once again, whether I record a video once a week or once every 2 weeks, just whenever I'm feeling like it, I want to see this in a year and know how far I've grown, because I already know within myself I'm unique. I know that. I know that I have the voice and the gift that was given to me, and that's in multiple avenues. That's being a producer, that's being an engineer, mixing and mastering. Like, there's not a lot of women that do that, and there's not a lot of women that get the notoriety for doing that. And so that's something that I want to be known for. I want to be known for being what I learned a couple months ago was called a 100%er. A 100%er is a artist that produces their own beat, mixes and masters it, records their own vocals, writes their own songs, obviously sings or raps their own music. And I feel like people do recognize that about me, and I appreciate the people that have been on this journey with me so far, but I feel like there's such a bar that I could reach, and I'm stuck right now. And so I have to be able to step back and go back in the timeline of even like healing my inner child. And just, like I said earlier, singing in the subway, I was feeding that inner child. And so I need to figure out more things that make me feel that way. And whether people see this or they don't see it, once again, this is for future Nina. So, hello. I want to grow. I'm going to grow. And if other artists feel the same way, I'm sure they do, because we all do. We all want to grow, whether that's in our music, whether that's in cooking, in your job, in your career, in your painting, in your computer degree, in your nursing degree. Like, we all want to grow. And I also have to take accountability for when I'm procrastinating, or when I'm sleeping too much, or different stuff like that. So I'm still going to give myself grace, but I want to come back to this in a year and see how far I've come, how you've come, Nina. And before we start this journey, I'm going to talk to you directly, future Nina. I do want you to know that I'm very proud of everything that you've done. And I don't think you're truly going to feel it until, I don't know. I hope you're able to feel it. And I want you to understand that you are unique. You are strong, and you are a visionary. You are an initiator. You are a trendsetter. And yeah, follow your gut intention, follow your heart. Always be vulnerable, always be yourself. Don't let the world change you. And you've got this. And to anyone else, you've got this. But Nina, I'll see you in a year. Love ya.